Okay, we're going to talk about audio, specifically audio recorders. This is my Tascam X6. I kind of love this thing, and that's coming from somebody who just picked up a Zoom F3. So the Zoom F3 is a 32-bit float audio recorder, and the Tascam is also a 32-bit audio recorder. Now, if you don't know what 32-bit audio is, it's essentially raw audio. It has dynamic range, a high dynamic range, which means that you can edit it and bring back the highs and up the lows to get usable audio. Now, a lot of people use these recorders for recording noises, like field recording, I think is what it's called. They use these recorders as field recorders. Now, I'm not using it as a field recorder. I'm using it to pump audio, higher quality audio from these XLR mics into my camera. Now, there's different ways to do this. There's multiple solutions. These are kind of pricey. The Zoom F3, I think, is like $350. This was like $500 or $400 when I bought it. I kind of regret. And just for the record, this is future me talking. If you want to hear a sample of the Tascam X6, stay till the end. I'm going to give you a sample, I promise. I'm just rambling about how I feel about this device, but I am going to give you an audio sample. I will connect this Electrovoice RE320 to this Tascam and let you hear it. That price, because now they've dropped in price, but these are the two best solutions for portable audio recorders. And I got the Tascam X6 over the Zoom F3 specifically for a couple features, and I only use one of them. So I'm going to run you through the best things about the Tascam X6. So first off, the Tascam X6, I'll turn it on right now. It boots up pretty quick. I'm going to put no, it's a phantom power. It boots up pretty quick, but the nice thing about it is that it has a really nice touch. This touchscreen gives you a lot of control versus not having a touchscreen or not being able to see. So when I click here and I go in my input volume, I can adjust different things in my settings, like phantom power, high mode, low mode. I can put like a limiter. You can put compression on here, noise gate. Like there's EQ that's offered for voices, guitar. It has a bunch of presets. It is the most useful portable 32-bit float recorder on the market. I say that bar none. If you had to get something that you wanted to use in your studio, but also outside, like let's say I did an outdoor podcast and I want to record with this, I would be confident with this device for 2 inputs. It's only got 2 inputs. Again, this is not really a specs video. This is just my impression after using it for so long. That being said, it also has 2 built-in mics at the top, which are good for capturing audio for field recording potentially, or if you're in a pinch and you need to record audio, you have nothing else, like this is great. Like you just literally plug this into your camera, 3.5mm jack, and just talk into it. And the 32-bit float feature works so well. It also does 24 and all those other formats as well, but I've done the 32-bit. I haven't been in a lot of environments where I needed to recover something, but I have been in environments where I don't set the gain properly, which is why you want this. If you don't set the gain properly, you don't know how, you'll never have bad audio as long as you know how to bring it back. And it's come in really handy when I've tested multiple mics and I want to easily adjust phantom power, dB strength, and different things like that. It's easier to do it on here because it has that touchscreen. Now, I watched a video where this guy talked about the issues with this device, and I didn't really see those issues because I use it in a limited capacity. But for some people, when they really dig through this, it's got some UI and element issues. Like you have this big wheel right here. You think you'd be able to use this wheel to like scroll through your tracks or the menu and stuff. And really that doesn't even need to exist. Like they could have just got rid of that big wheel. It doesn't really do much. The touchscreen is where you do a lot of your inputs. And when it comes into inputs, one of the issues I have is that these capsules right here, even though they're great for recording in a pinch, they don't come off. There's a bigger brother to this called the X8, and that one, the capsules come off, which gives you 2 additional inputs. So with that one, you have 2 inputs on the left, 2 inputs on the right, and then 2 potential inputs on the top that are like a 1/4-20 headphone jack, the big thick one, which you can adapt anything to, which means that they could have made this a 4 input recorder and they just kind of didn't. And I don't think that the space is a compromise here. I think they could have easily fit that in. That's one of my gripes with it. That's my main gripe. It has USB-C power, which is amazing because charging things via USB is great. Just be aware that if you're using this via USB, you have to use a correct USB-C cable, because there's been times where I've gotten so much interference in my recording because of using a USB-C cable that doesn't have like PD or something. I don't know. So it's not 100% foolproof, but it is great. I'm going to turn this off. It turns off faster than it turns on. It is super portable. It doesn't come with a Bluetooth module. I don't know why you would want to control this via Bluetooth. Maybe if you're on set, maybe it'd be more convenient, but I have my audio recorder, like my Zoom F3 is just like right here, like right in front of me. I have this Tascam usually pointed sideways. So yeah, if you want a portable device, this is just a quick user review. It's not something in depth. Like you're not even listening to audio off this thing. Just for the record, you're listening to the audio audio off the Zoom F3, which I should maybe just plug this in real quick and give you an audio sample. When it comes to this device, for the price, if you are doing podcasts with just two people, only two people, and you want to be mobile and lightweight, I would recommend this, the Tascam X6. Now, if you want to future-proof yourself, which is kind of like what I want to do, and you don't worry about you're not worried about a little bit more, size-wise, I would get the X8. I had an opportunity to get an X8 used, missing the two capsules at the top, and I told myself, no, I needed the two capsules. I could have got it for like $280, and I passed on it, and it's probably my biggest regret of 2023 because I've never really used these capsules on this one, and I don't see myself using them, even if I was in a pinch, maybe to record ambient noise, but I don't do that. I'm in a YouTube studio to like handhold it and record audio with this. So let's do that just to give you a sample. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So, but I'm connected. I'm crossing wires here. It is not pretty, but this is an audio sample with the Tascam X6. I have phantom powered enabled. It's in the high mode, which I've found that when you're running audio interfaces, sometimes you want to run them in the lowest. You want to run it in the lowest setting because you think you're going to save yourself from hissing. But sometimes these mics need a specific amount of power. And if you run it at the lowest setting, it's not going to sound good. It's better to run it at a decent wattage or voltage or whatever, and then figure it out in post. It's way better to do that. This is the RE20. I've only used this mic once ever. I just got it. I just picked it up. So I don't know how nice it's playing with the Tascam. It is at, like I said, that high setting with 48 phantom volts. I'm going to use the little jog wheel and I'm going to raise it to 30. We're going to do 30 dB. So this is 30 dB. This might be hot. I don't know. We'll figure it out in post. But one thing I can say is that I'm listening to the audio and it sounds so clean compared to how I usually run it, which I usually run this through USB-C power. And that's where it gives me issues. So I'm actually going to unplug my USB-C power from my Zoom F3 and I'm going to plug it in here and see what happens. All right, so maybe there's a change in the audio, maybe there's not. We're going to give it a second to kind of load up. You know what's another gripe I have about this? They should really put the ports all on one side. It's very frustrating. Like you see all these cables are crossed. Like the charging cable's on the right, the headphone jack is on the left, the XLRs are on the left, the SD card's on the right, the hold switch, the volume buttons. It'd be nice if they consolidated some of these ports into, this is ridiculous what I'm doing by the way. It'd be nice if they consolidated some of these ports into just one side of the device and had one side clean. It would make it easier to manage because you can imagine if you had this on top of your camera or somewhere else, like there's cables just popping everywhere. And that's kind of why I like the Zoom F3, because the Zoom F3 has the XLR ports coming from the top and then just a single USB-C coming out from the side, and that's it. And if I want to plug in headphones, it's on the bottom. I guess that one's not consolidated. It's just a cube and it's small, which makes it more convenient. But we're going to disconnect that USB-C power and see if there's an audio difference. Is there a hum? Is there not a hum? And that concludes our test with the the Tascam. Okay, so yeah, that's my review on the Tascam X6 in 2023. So yeah, that being said, stay tuned for my video on the Zoom F3, but just subscribe. We hit a 500. Let's hit 1,000, because if I win, you win. I'm going to give you guys a couple things that I love and a couple things that I hate about the Tascam X6, and if it's worth buying in 2023.